Hi everybody, Heather Campbell here, and I'm so excited to be joining you in the classroom today. I'm going to be sharing how to stamp your own two-tone banner with a new Avriel stamp set called Build a Banner. I absolutely love this set. Being a stamper at heart, it just makes me warm and fuzzy to be able to create my own banner in any colors I want. So this is really exciting for me. And I'm going to be coordinating with Petals and Stems and the Laurels set. So to get started, the first thing we have to do is stamp the outline image of the banner. And I'm just stamping it on some Nina Solar White cardstock with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I just want a nice crisp line for this outline of the banner. So now that I have that, I'm ready to stamp the front of my banner. And if I was looking at a ribbon, naturally this would be the lighter part of the banner. So I'm going to use this solid stamp, and I'm going to use some Hero Arts Soft Pink ink. This is just a really light, pretty shade of pink, and I struggle with pink, so I was really happy to find this one. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this right down on the paper, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to line up. So here I'm lining it up, but I'm going to stamp right below because I want you to see these lines that are in the stamp. And looks kind of blotchy right now. That will dry up beautifully, but there's these two lines, and those line up perfectly. And that's what makes it so easy to line this stamp set up and what makes this stamp set so great. Okay, so now I'm just going to stamp this on the inside of my banner. It just takes a second to line it up, matching those lines, and I can stamp this down and get a nice solid, pretty banner. So here you can see it fits perfectly in that outlined image. And now that we've got the front of the banner stamped, we can stamp the back of the banner, and those are those two little triangles. So these little triangles, there's two little stamps in this set, and these would be naturally just a darker shade. So for my two little triangles, I've chosen to do Hero Arts Bubblegum. I think this is just the prettiest shade of pink, a little bit darker than the soft pink, and complements it so well. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my two little triangles, and it's important to note that they're different. So when you're stamping your banner, you kind of have to figure out which one's which. It's really easy once you realize they're different, because I definitely made that mistake once. But there it is, and it's just stunning. So now that I have my banner done, it's time to add my sentiment. Adding a sentiment to a curved banner is actually really easy. And I know there's stamp sets out there that come with pre-curved sentiments, but you definitely don't need them. And curving it yourself is a great way to stretch your stash and use what you already have. Plus, you're not confined to having a curved sentiment only. You can use something that's straight all the time and then curve it when you need to. First, I put my banner stamp face down on an acrylic block. And then I went ahead and rested my sentiment stamp over the top, also stamping surface down on that acrylic block. And then I bring my acrylic block down to it. And then I just lift it, pick it up, and then kind of twist my stamp, moving it up and down to match the banner to get it exactly how I like it. And then I always like to do a trial stamp just to make sure I like that the curve and there's nothing wonky with it. So once I have a good curve, then I can just easily add it to my banner. And here you can see just how pretty it looks when it's all stamped with the two tones and the darker shade behind in that banner. It just looks so natural and something that you'd print out, but yet you've stamped it yourself. So now that we've got the banner stamped, it's time to die cut it out. So Avriel has the stamp first, die cut second dies. And I love these because it allows you to have such a precise line around your image. And I'm going to use some Eclipse masking tape to hold this to my paper because it is fragile since it was freshly stamped. I like to use something extra soft on that paper, and I find that Eclipse masking tape works perfect for this. So now that I've die cut it, I'm able to just peel that right off and the paper is completely unharmed. And I'm going to save that for later. And then I can just pull my die cut out and there it is. And I really do just love how this turned out. I think it is so pretty. Now that I have my banner all set and ready to go, I had the idea of putting it on a black piece of cardstock and creating kind of a chalkboard feel behind that pink banner. I thought that would be really sweet and soft and elegant with that thinking of you sentiment and just really be pretty with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp that outline banner right here. And I know it's going to be covered up. I just need to know where I'm going to put everything else. So this is going to help line it all up for me. So the first thing I need to do is just stamp my banner. Now to stamp on my black cardstock, I'm going to be using the Hero Arts Unicorn ink. It is absolutely perfect for this. Alright, now I've got my banner stamped and I'm just going to bring my banner in to make sure I like the placement on my cardstock panel. And I do, I think that's really pretty. So now I'm ready to go ahead and stamp some of my leaves. And once again, I'm using the leaves and flowers and the berries from the Laurels collection. And I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp these. Doesn't have to be perfect, and the color variation on the stamps too doesn't have to be perfect as well. Just go ahead and stamp and have fun with it, and if you get smears, it's a chalkboard and it's gonna look great. If you wanted a darker, more vibrant flower, you could also heat emboss here, and then that would add a really pretty layer to it as well. But I'm not going to do that because I really want it to be soft and have that thinking of you banner be the focus of this card. Okay, so now I've added all of the flowers, and I'm going to just go in and add some berries. And just try to fill in some of the blank spaces, add the weight that you would see naturally berries pulling on a branch. Just having fun with it, and starting with less and adding more is always a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to jump ahead here, and I've got everything stamped, and I'm just going to bring my banner in, and I really love that again. So I am going to call my stamping part done. Okay, so what I had the idea of doing was putting it on a Desert Storm card base. And I think it just needs a little decorative edge. So I had the idea of using a My Favorite Things notebook edge die because I want this perforation. So I'm going to be really careful when I line it up. I'm just going to make sure that I don't catch any of those circles from the notebook page that you would rip out. I just want that perforation. And so I'm just going to secure it with some of my Eclipse masking tape again as I run it through my Big Shot. And that is what is going to give me that clean finish. So here I have my panel back, and you can see that it just has that perforation, and I really love how this looks because it has kind of a chalkboard film strip look. I think it's just a neat touch, and it gives it a little dimension, something extra. So now I can go ahead and adhere it to my card base, and just making sure I have the top right there because I've also made that mistake more than once. And then as I am securing my panel to my card base, I'm also kind of rubbing the ink and giving a little bit of a smear to it, which just adds to the chalkboard feel. And now I'm able to secure my banner to my card, and I've just got a little dimensional adhesive here, and I'm just going to put this right down on my card, and I think it'll be just a really nice touch. So there we have it. Thank you so much for joining me in the classroom today. I hope you've had fun, feel inspired, and have a great day.